I want to remind everyone that I'm Reverend Dr. Samora. I'm the director for the Interfaith Temple, and I'm here interviewing and having a wonderful conversation with Reverend Dr. Jay Swaits, who is the executive director of the new Seminary for Interfaith Studies. So before we wrap things up, I would love to also talk about your journey a little bit. And I know the Washington Post did an article about you, and I would love for you to share with our audience a bit about what
On
happened
that.
and what that was about.
Well, the Washington Post, CBS News, Tamron Hall, Philadelphia Inquirer,
To name a few.
National Public Radio. What Dr. Samora is referring to is that I, through a DNA test, determined that I was related to an ancient royal African family in the kingdom of Allada, Benin, West Africa. And I flew over there and I was, well, before I flew over there, they told me that I was a prince and that I should come and be crowned and receive my ancient title, land, and so forth. And so I'm now also Prince Videkon Deka of the Kingdom of Allada, Benin, West Africa. For those of you that don't know anything about the country of Benin, it was the formerly called Dahomey, and my kingdom founded the Dahomey Empire, or the Dahomey Empire was founded out of my kingdom. For a more current reference in terms of what the Dahomey Empire was, I refer to the movie The Woman King, which is my family. And it was a delight to do that. It was a blessing. And I'm still trying to integrate all that into my life.
And how did it feel to find this out, after you've, lived, you've had a substantial career in many different ways, and here you are, your children are raised, and then you come to find out this information. Like, how did that, shift things for you?
Well, it completed the puzzle that was me. And most African Americans are a puzzle because they don't know, they have a lot of pieces of themselves missing, knowledge of their self missing. We don't know where we came from. We can say we're African American, but that's a huge continent. Where in Africa? And so the blessing for me is that I can now go to the map and put my finger on a specific place and say my family originated from here. When I was at Howard University, I used to wear African jewelry. That's when it was all in the bangles and the beads and the dashikis. And I was just wearing African attire. This piece of, okay, anyway, I have a piece of jewelry on my wrist. It was made by women in my village.
Hmm.
I have outfits made by artisans in my village. I have baskets made by artisans in my village, family members. That is empowering. Not only that, but my family is one of the caretakers of the ancient African tradition called Vodun,
Mm.
not to be confused with the television creation of voodoo with the witch doctor and zombies and all that. Vodun is a religion much like Christianity. It has a pantheon of gods or saints or entities that are in charge of aspects of creation and a divine creator. And you could even say, well, you can say with certainty that Vodun is older than Christianity. And so that is, for me, the most important thing, that I can speak of African gods and deities and know that I have a connection there. When I was in a sacred forest, for those of you that are called Zen Valley, for those of you that were Game of Thrones fans, this
Hmm.
sacred forest, the caretakers of this sacred forest are called Zangbetos, which means night watch. So I was blessed by purified in the forest of the night watch. And I'm bent over and they're praying over me in this circle. And they read this prayer called Bookman's Prayer. And it was a prayer that was said the night before the Haitian Revolution.
Right.
And the hero of the Haitian Revolution, Toussaint Overture, would be my cousin. And in saying this prayer and returning, essentially the prayer said, let us turn away from the God of the white man and return to the gods of our ancestors. And with that prayer, it empowered them to go on and defeat the most powerful army in the world at that time, which was Napoleon's army. And that forced Napoleon to divest his holdings in the Western Hemisphere and sell them to the United States. And that was the Louisiana Purchase. So, in a way, I could say that my family and the religion of my family actually played a role in shaping what the United States has become. For those of you that don't know what the Louisiana Purchase is, that was all the land west of the Mississippi up to, I forget the point, but most of the United States, from sea to shiny sea.
It's
Not
pretty
to be.
profound. Yes, but pretty profound.